Hello and welcome to today's February 12th daily news report, as well as ongoing stimulus package information video. If you're a subscribed member of my community, then welcome back. On this channel, I keep you in the loop on what's really going on in Washington, D.C. with President Biden and his stimulus bill, the U.S. economy, money, investing, and much, much more. All right, before I jump in, don't forget to add your name to be one of the winners of the giveaway Casey and I are doing in the month of February, thanks to generous video sponsors. Also, I'd like to thank today's video sponsor, Boosh Food, and I'm going to tell you about an incredible opportunity later in this video, like a really big deal, so stick with me to the end. Okay, in some breaking news, President Biden and the White House have ordered the U.S. Embassy in Ukraine to be evacuated. The White House is now telling all Americans to get out of Ukraine immediately. However, the president of Ukraine is saying this is all hype and that Russia is not going to invade. He says the U.S. is messing up Ukraine's economy with fear-mongering. However, the Pentagon and U.S. intelligence swear they have private intel that an invasion is coming. Now, it's not clear if the thousands of Americans in Ukraine are in harm's way or if the White House is acting out of an abundance of caution because of the disastrous withdrawal from Afghanistan. This is a developing story and one that I'll continue to keep you informed on. The IRS announced it's still 24 million tax returns behind on 2020 taxes. Yikes. That means that simple returns in 2021 are going to be processed quickly. But the IRS is saying any tax form that has complications or stimulus checks or child tax credits could be delayed. To me, it sounds like the IRS doesn't need 88,000 new agents to harass the middle class with audits. It sounds like they need more money and agents and resources just to get through the tax filings they already have. Over 1 million people are waiting on one or more stimulus checks that weren't delivered, and close to 60 million American families are waiting for their lump sum portion of the child tax credit money they are owed. Regarding President Biden's Build Back Better bill, President Biden himself said that it's actually further along than most people would guess. So are there backdoor conversations happening that we're not made aware of? He said he is confident that the best parts of the bill will survive in the Senate, and there will be changes made that will help address the financial difficulties facing Americans and that it will address inflation. Now, he was vague on what all of this meant. For all we know, he could be cryptically referencing free pre-kindergarten, or he could be alluding to or insinuating about a new program coming forward. I'm honestly not sure, so I'm not going to speculate. I'm just going to tell you in his own words. He's saying there's more coming, and it's further along than most Americans know. I was a little disappointed in Biden's inability to take responsibility for the current economy and the shortages and the inflation. Now, I don't lay all of the blame on him. We've just lived through 2 years of very weird economic stuff, right? But when he went on to blame the American people for the mess, this crossed a line for me. Biden said the people caused the inflation and the supply chain issues by having too much money and by buying too much stuff. Now, he's not totally wrong. There was a ton of money dumped into the U.S. economy, but I think blaming the American people for the U.S. government's programs just seems really wrong to me. Regarding the Canadian trucker rally, a judge gave permission for the police to remove truckers, Canadian citizens, and trucks from the bridge between Canada and Michigan. Now a trucker rally has started to build momentum in Paris, France. However, the French police are moving much more swiftly and aggressively to shut it down and have begun to fire tear gas on their own citizens in order to disperse the crowds that are growing. There could be as many as 50,000 French citizens pouring in to protest against the mandates from President Macron. This story is just getting started, and I'll continue to keep you in the loop. Americans are saying their number one concern is the U.S. economy and raging inflation. More and more polls are showing that Americans don't believe Democrats have the skill set or the tools to turn it around. Also, near the top of the list is the U.S. border crisis, which gets very little attention on left-leaning media and overwhelming attention on right-leaning media. These issues will become a deciding factor in the 2022 midterm election as Americans decide which leadership team will solve the problems they're worried about most. As I mentioned yesterday, top Democrat James Carville said, if Democrats even want a chance at winning, they need to answer one question. How does what we plan to do improve American lives? Now, speaking of improving American lives, earlier this week, I told you how an energy company I shared with you had grown by 40%. Then I told you how a real estate investment trust, Apartments stock, had grown by over 50%. And then just this week, it was announced that they would be acquired and their stock jumped to over 105% growth. Well, a stock I told you about in the past could go through a similar boom and continues to be a good buy and hold opportunity. So not every stock I've told you about has gone to the moon. And honestly, that's normal. Most stocks grow by 3 to 10% unless you're a massive tech company or you have a big news announcement. Well, Bush Food actually dropped in value since I told you about it in September. And this was normal. But what isn't normal is that Bush Food grew by hundreds of percent in many different data points and went from no grocery stores in the United States to hundreds of grocery stores in the United States. So then why did their stock drop? Well, right after Black Friday, the entire stock market went through a big dip. However, the technology companies and energy companies bounced back quickly, and the rest of the market has kind of struggled its way forward unless you were a big name, got lots of attention, or had a massive marketing budget. By the way, Bush Foods ticker symbol is VGGIF and can be found on all major stock trading platforms except for Robinhood. So yesterday, after the stock market closed, Bush Foods announced that it had purchased Beanfield, which is one of the fastest growing food companies in America. So while apartment stocks was a buyout, this Bush Food and Beanfield opportunity is called a buy-in. Here's why this is big. One, Bush is going to be able to take over Beanfield's assets and their cash flow, which is huge. And second, Bush is going to be able to take over their existing relationships, which is super huge. For example, Beanfield was already in over 7,000 stores. Now, this is no small task, right? You've got to have a team of people working with suppliers and buyers all over the country to get into every grocery store. So it's like Bush Food gets to leapfrog years ahead with this new distribution channel, right? And starting next week, sales reps will be calling these 7,000 existing relationships saying, hey, we have other food products that are very popular in the United States and Canada. Do you want some of these bringing in for shelf space, right? There's shortages of food all over America, and these guys have the food, right? So they're likely going to pick up this empty shelf space. Now, by total coincidence, I needed eggs this morning, so I went to the grocery store, and I kid you not, the front store display, which is the coveted spot in the grocery store world, had none other than Beanfield. You guys, I'm not making this up. I had to snap a photo because I wouldn't have believed it had I not seen it for myself. I also went ahead and picked up a couple bags of chips, and the food is really, really delicious. So why am I telling you all this? Well, mergers and acquisitions almost always lead to a ton of positive attention on a stock and typically a big jump in stock value because people and the stock market like to reward when they see success and positive growth. Now, of course, you're going to want to do your own research. I'm just letting you know about a great company with a excellent buy and hold opportunity that just released massive good news into the market. And my belief is that you are going to see this stock have a big run up come Monday morning. Anyway, I just wanted to share this buyout information for those of you who are looking for a good buy and hold opportunity. I think Bush Foods is about to see a really big boom, and they're only going to get into more and more stores and get more and more cash flow. Again, their ticker symbol is VGGIF if you want to check them out. By the way, thank you guys so much for giving these videos a like. I really appreciate it. I love doing the research. It's hours and hours of research to keep you guys in the loop in as short a video as I can. So thank you guys so much for those likes. Now, this is my update for today. As I know more, I'll definitely come on and share more with you. A lot going on in Ukraine, a lot going on in Canada, a lot going on with inflation, the U.S. economy, the stimulus bill, and I'm going to be here to keep you in the loop on all of it. Now, before you go, do make sure to get your name entered to be one of the winners of the giveaway that Casey and I are doing, thanks to generous video sponsors. Also, check out Bush Food. You're going to want to know this company. This is going to become a recognized name. Hey, I want to remind you that you are amazing. I appreciate you being in my community, and I'll see you on the next video, which will be Monday.